Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you for coming to Queen Chief of Three Kings. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for hitting that notification bell. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am whole. I am prosperous in every area of my life. I have wisdom. I have knowledge. And I have understanding. I'm not here to convince, or condemn anyone of anything. I'm just here to give you something to consider. Now, I want to talk about Moses. We'll start off with Moses' mom. Moses was born into a family of slavery. His mom loved Tina Turner. So one day she was listening to Proud Mary. Rolling, rolling, rolling down the river. Anyway, so she said, Moses, I'm going to roll you down the river. So she made him a basket, wrapped him up, put him in the basket, and rolled him down the river. And guess who found Moses? Pharaoh's daughter. Moses went from being born into slavery to growing up in luxury. So anyway, Moses went outside one day, and he saw the people working night and day without a moment of sleep. And he saw Ike beating up on one of his men. So Moses decided to kill Ike. So now Moses is a fugitive. He has a warrant for his arrest. So he decided to sign up to join the Peachtree Road Atlanta 25-mile marathon and run up this mountain. Moses ran up the mountain a wanted man and killer. While he's on top of this mountain, God gives him the commandments. And guess what one of those commandments was? Thou shalt not kill. God gave a commandment to a killer to not kill. So Moses comes down the mountain, and he sees the people dancing and drinking and partying, and then they made an idol god. Moses physically broke the commandments he had written on stone, especially the one that said, Thou shalt not kill. He said, No, we're getting rid of that. So anyway, he was angry at the peoples because the peoples had made their own God. So he said, Raise your hand if you are on the lower side. And the people rose their hand and said they're on the lower side. He said, Take your sword out and kill everybody. So the killer went up the mountain, came down the mountain with the commandment that says, Thou shalt not kill. Break the thou shalt not kill. Then orders the people who were with God to kill. Make that make sense, Moses. Anyway, after that, God was like, you know what? This didn't work. This didn't work with this Moses fella. He was killing before I told him not to kill. Then he killed after I gave him the commandments not to kill. And then he killed before he could give the people the commandments not to kill. So that didn't work. So God said, no, I'm going to try a different approach. So he said, you know what? I'm going to come down and be born as Jesus Christ. So he said, I'm going to have a son. So I'm going to need somebody to go on top of this mountain and tell everybody when Jesus Christ was born. So Jesus Christ was born. The people goes back up the mountain and tell everybody, hey, Jesus is born. Jesus is born. Jesus is born. Christ is born. Over the hills, God's love will be revealed. And everywhere, God hears your prayer. And you know what? Then Josetta took me to get a manicure and pedicure. I called Prophetess Shantae, but she no longer does manicures and pedicures. So they took us to this wonderful place in Columbus to get manicures and pedicures. Anyway, Dee was getting a pedicure, and the lady had rocks in her hand. And Dee said I should try that next time. So I asked the lady for a rock. I said, can I have a rock? She said, you give me $100, I give you a rock. So that made me think about the mountain again. God's mountain, on top of that mountain, over the hills, and everywhere, I can get my own rocks of grace, a rock of mercy, a rock of peace, a rock of love, a rock of prosperity, rock of wisdom, rock of knowledge, rock of understanding. rocks of health, rocks of wealth. So I can get my own rocks and bring them back down the mountain and share them with people over the hills and everywhere and say, hey, these are my rocks. If you want your rock, you have to bring back evidence that you have been on top of the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere, and share that Jesus Christ is born. And the only evidence that we can have that you have shared Jesus Christ is the rocks that you bear. Okay, so thank you for joining me on Queen Chief of Three Kings. Thank you for joining me on Queen Chief of Three Kings. I hope I have said something that you like or didn't like. You can put it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for turning on that notification button. And may my whole life prove that God is good. Go tell it on the mountain.